Pues esta ya es que tiene muy poca guerra y aún así la vaca está funcionando. ¿Subirá al tablao? No.
Madre mía. La camiseta, los pantalones. Bueno. La imagen del día.
From a galaxy near you, this is Brothers in Booze. And here are your hosts, Greg Washington and Doug Ziegler.
That bull stripped him clean.
Mess with the bull, you can get the horns, right? Isn't that how the phrase goes?
Oh, there's so many we could do. Fuck around and find out. I mean,
there's another one, yeah.
What's going on, Doug? How was your holidays?
It was good, man. We had all the kids here, which doesn't always happen with everybody doing all their shit. So it was great. Yeah, so we got to spend time with them on Christmas. So it was good. How about you?
Christmas was fun. It was great. It was low key. Watched a whole bunch of movies, which is not like me. And yeah, and I'm really, really excited to try this one, Inside of Outside, which is from Super Moon Brewing Company in Milwaukee.
Super Moon, the name of it, right?
Super Moon.
That's a great name.
Fermented in oak with Brettanomyces.
I could never pronounce that right.
How? Yeah.
Brettanomyces, whatever.
That thing. Hop with Matuka and Nelson Sauvignon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That sounds like a nice wild ale, like a wild sour.
Yeah, Supermoon's known for these, and I picked some up when I was out there doing it at the Black Brewers little thingy that they had here. I'll take off my glasses. My readers are crazy, man. Like the screen here is like right in between where the readers are effective and the readers are crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like a haze, but it's like clear. It's like we can talk about glasses, but that shit's new to me. And it's more fascinating than anything. It's a little frustrating, but more fascinating. So I figure, so nice and fruity, but it has that tarty back end, like a sour, but it's not a sour. You know what I'm talking about, Doug?
Yep.
And it is fresh, clean. It smells amazing. Oh yeah, and this is with Hacienda too. This is Hacienda and Supermoon. Fantastic. Yeah, Daniel called us. Just call it Brett. And just
he sounds like a generic white dude. Let's call it Brett. Yeah, hey, Brett.
Right. But you sound sophisticated if you can pump that shit out.
Yeah.
But this is sophisticated. It's great, and I'm going to be enjoying it. I'm not sure how to categorize your first beer.
Yeah, well, here's how I'm going to categorize it. So, as I mentioned in the pre-show, like there is one like really mass-produced beer that I like, and I think we all have one, whether it be nostalgic or just something you just like, not something you like, you go out of your way for, but once in a while, like, yeah, man, I'll have some of that. And for me, this beer, what I used to do is I would take the first 2 days of March Madness off, and I would just sit and drink beer all day and watch basketball. And I can't drink beer all day anymore, but when I did, I would get Labatt's. So what I found was NA Labatt's, and I thought I have to try that because I want to see how it tastes in relation to just regular Labatt's. Labatt's is cheap, mass-produced, not a great beer, but if you're drinking all day, it's a low ABV kind of thing, so that's what I would go for.
Was that shit available back when we used to drink Labatt's?
No, this is part of the NA thing. I could probably open it first before I pour it, because that might work a little better. Pop open.
It was just so duels back then, remember? Just so duels.
No, it was so duels, and there's probably some others.
Bad. NA or not, that is a bad beer.
That is a bad beer. Yeah,
that shit's still around?
Yeah, duels is still around. Sure it is.
Ugh.
Yeah. So see Dirty Glass gang as usual. So not even sure this deserves a glass, but I thought I'd pour it anyhow. Labatt Man. I'm Labatt Man. And I'm not singing any more than that. Because I got a couple of messages that we had some like old videos from 2021 that got copyright things thrown on them from like February 2020. I'm like, who's going through this stuff? But I don't know. Whatever. So cheers, man.
Cheers to them. Looking at our show. It's bad enough looking at us in the present, looking at us in.
Yeah, so this is it's very close. It is not quite as crisp as Labatt's is. The real good quality of Labatt's is it's just a crisp, fizzy yellow beer, as our friend Robert Scroggs calls it. So it's just not quite as crisp, but a very good substitute. So yeah, not a bad job, Labatt's. Good on you.
Cool. That's good to hear. Again, I'm not a big fan of drinking any beers. I'm a big fan of any beers outside of that, though. Maybe one day I'll change, and maybe one day I'm leaving the door open for that. But I just like that. I just like non-alcoholic beers for the culture, for other people. It doesn't have to be about me. And it's not about me, and that's it. So. Yeah. I really, really like that. Doug, we're going to jump in real early to this shit. So no guests tonight, y'all. It's just us. So y'all have to deal with this. But we're going to try to do a year in review. Things that we watched, loved, and anything else that y'all want to talk about. So if y'all want to have anything in the comments that y'all want to talk about 22, bring it up and we will hash it out. One of the things that I don't want anybody to ever forget about 22 is this lady. No, I can't do any more than that. But this part is just the best, man.
Just that smile. That smile just
and she knows that she's like doing something right, and she's clearly not. And she's so happy with herself at that moment. It's just too much. I can't do it. And then we have these people now.
The biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce.
I don't like it with my chicken wings.
Nope. So anyway, I'm trying to come current, Doug, and I'm trying to. You and Whitney have inspired me to watch some movies. So yeah, I went back and watched this movie because it was one I always wanted to see. I never saw it. I don't know why I never saw it, but everybody else did apparently. It's Fight Club, and this show is fucking out of its own mind. If that even makes sense.
Literally.
It's a complete mindfuck of a movie. It's really good, but it's just a complete mindfuck, and it wasn't anything. Somehow I made it this far, Doug, without hearing anything about the damn thing and having people spoil it or anything. All I knew about Fight Club is that you didn't talk about Fight Club. And I guess that's the best part about Fight Club is that people didn't talk about Fight Club. Even people who watch Fight Club didn't really even talk about Fight Club. So that's why Fight Club it was fun. It was weird. And it's definitely one I have to see again, actually.
Yeah, as I said to you in the pre-show here, is like that is a movie that I have watched probably 10, 11 times. And every time I watch it, there's something in that just completely changes for me. Like it's your perspective, like your initial, like, what did you initially think that movie was about? Like when you were done watching it, what was your thought of what that movie was? Like, what did you think it was?
That movie's about cults.
Okay, that's something I got farther on. When I first watched it, now that movie was made in '99. I watched it when it came out. And I was a younger guy then. And I thought that was just like the oppression of men in society, which is the dumbest thing you could think of. But back then, that was not an uncommon theme, right? And then after I watched it, I went, oh no, it's not that at all. And there's like a million, like if you go out into the internet and look at some of the theories on what that's about, it can get pretty wild as the internet does. But Yeah, it could be about cults. That was something I got after I watched it like the 6th or 7th time. I was like, oh, maybe it's that. Like literally you could get 50 interpretations for that movie, which is what makes it so great.
Right. And then of course Brad Pitt and Ed Norton were just
They were awesome.
sizzling. Brad Pitt kind of out of nowhere for me. I seen him play a lot of different roles. For him to be like that kind of abrasive and Polish and like it was really nice, actually. I mean, he was an asshole, but
yes, but like but Brad Pitt, I think personally he's a really super underrated actor. He takes on all these weird different roles. He does all kinds of shit. He's not afraid to make fun of himself. And have you ever seen Inglourious Bastards?
No, I need.
That's oh my god, that's a Tarantino movie that you absolutely. That's to me that's Tarantino's best movie, and that's better than
Pulp Fiction,
Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown. I like Jackie Brown.
I love Jackie Brown. Love Jackie Brown.
But I think Inglourious Bastards is his best work. I think it's
wow. Okay.
Pitt plays a character in there that you're just gonna like. Where the fuck did he get that from?
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
I'm sniffing around something to keep this movie thing going, Doug. So
I got lots of suggestions. That's definitely one you should check out.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah, man, you've never seen it. Oh, if you like Tarantino at all,
I love him.
That movie is just you'll be floored walking away from that movie. I think, me personally, anyway. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I think.
Okay, I'll get on that one for sure. So yeah, Doug, I figure I do one, you do one, because I feel that we have a bunch, and then we'll mix in our beers and act like we've been doing this for 3 years. Because
have we? Oh yeah, we have. Oh.
Oh, so what do you got, Doug? You want to bring up?
All right, so you were talking movies,
and
you were talking about something you just watched. So I want to talk about a show I just watched, not a movie, because I did movies with Whitney, and there's things I'll be happy to talk with you about those. But what I'm going to do here is I'll share my little. Stream.
Spoiler alert: we're going to do TV shows with Daniel Fisher coming up here soon, y'all.
Yeah. So this was just something that Jill and I watched. That it's a 4-episode show. And it is unsettling and really good. I see you got Stanley Tucci and David Tennant in it. Tennant plays a vicar. And the thing is, it's 2 completely disparate storylines that they sort of tie together. Stephen Moffat, who's got a whole bunch of stuff. He did Doctor Who, Sherlock. He did Sherlock, which is a great show too. But it's only 4 episodes. You can knock it out in a day, less than 4 hours, because the episodes aren't even an hour long. I'm not going to say too much about what it is because I don't want to give anything away, but let's just say shit goes wrong, and it goes really wrong. And it's interesting to see how it unravels. So I think that's, it's Netflix. It's super quick watch, but really good.
Cool. Really nice. So a little bit side tangent. Do you agree with the backlash that generally Netflix got this year, which is people are saying, "Oh, there's not anything on there," or "I'm tired of paying the money," or what do you think of that take? Because it was really prevalent this year.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case. I mean, the problem with the streaming is they're coming in against the wall where they're realizing that they're having trouble making as much money, which seems weird because people are staying home more. But excuse me, it's not a business model that they've completely figured out yet, which sounds weird considering all the content you get streaming. There's a million things you can watch, right? There's fuck tons of stuff to watch on Netflix. It just depends on what you want to watch. Like, because there's so many options, people sometimes I think, oh, well, they're not doing enough. Like, they put out a lot of stuff, a lot.
Right.
Now, the only thing I do think they deserve backlash for is they're going to stop password sharing next year, which I think is that's dumb because they're going to lose people.
I don't know what to think about this. I don't even know what to say. But I'll get back on the whole Netflix thing. Part of the whole Netflix thing too, Doug, you said you nailed it, which is like it's hard for them, or they haven't figured out totally to monetize it. So that's a great segue into the movie that you and I both saw. I'm sure a lot of y'all saw it too. Is this one? And the reason I say that is because look at it. It even says it on here. 1 week theatrical sneak peek on November 23rd. So some people were able to see it in the movies. Then they snatched that shit off for the movies, and then they said you got to have Netflix. Now, before we even get to the movie, let's just talk about that in general, because they made a shitload of money, Doug, in a week, and now the producer, writer extraordinaire Ryan Johnson, I believe his name is, right?
Yep.
He's like, oh, we got to figure out a way to get this back to theaters. So, like, that's the struggle that they're having, is that Netflix is, you know what I mean, getting Netflix movies apparently on in the theater is, I don't know, they don't know what to do with it, and then they have their own streaming site, and yeah. So what do you take of that when they, when only streaming service puts out a movie, but then they can only do it streaming? It's the whole thing is fucked. I'm glad I'm glad I'm not tasked with the solution to this, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, me either. Right. I don't know what to make of it, just because I think there's certain movies that you probably should see in a movie theater. Like one of the things we talked about with Whitney was Top Gun Maverick, because of just the effects, and that's the kind of thing you should see on a really big screen, because that's made for. Like Avatar just came out. That's something you probably should see on a big screen. Get more out of it. There's some movies that's really important, but those are, I think, more of your blockbustery kind of movies that you should see in a theater, or very certain niche movies that are like Bond,
Star Wars, Star Trek. You know what I mean? The big CGI, the big graphics.
Right. So, I think it's interesting. Now, the thing is, Ryan Johnson had a contract with Netflix where we would make a series of movies for them. So that was a contract he signed.
Yep.
So the thing is that's great. And now you have this money, but now, all right, I don't understand the money, how they bankroll. All right, I'm going to need to make this movie. I need this much money to make the movie. That movie had to be fucking expensive as hell to have all the people it had in it. Like, just to be able to pay all the actors, much less to film it on the locations they filmed it at.
And it was an elaborate set for sure. That big onion and all that. That shit didn't exist before the movie.
No. So it's something that, and it wasn't like CGI'd, or, well, maybe it was, but
some of it, maybe the ending.
Yeah. But I watched it on Netflix. I didn't watch it in a movie theater, but I thought it was really, really fun.
Yes.
It's funny. It's quick. The jokes they made at certain people's expense, I really appreciated.
Well, so are you talking about Elon?
Yeah.
Okay, so the funny, that this movie was written and made long before Elon's, crazy streak. Elon's always been crazy, we know that, but now seems like it's been exemplified with this whole Twitter thing.
Yeah, but you could do that. Honestly, it was a commentary on billionaires in general, so you could have said about any fucking billionaire, it wouldn't have mattered. Just Elon's the pretty much du jour.
Right. Anyone but Mark Cuban. He seems to be the sensible, sane, nice one. Maybe Warren Buffett. Maybe. I'm not sure. No. Okay.
No, because he owns all of the Fox News empire and will not, and he's put it out in the
Warren
UK.
Buffett?
Yeah, he's the one who created all that shit.
Not Rupert Murdoch. Warren Buffett.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking of Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah. No, Rupert Murdoch is, in my opinion, a piece of shit. And that's your opinion too. And that is our First Amendment. I always get this wrong. It's really bad. Second is the guns, right? Or first is the guns. Which one's first?
Yeah, the guns was just.
It's really hard to figure that out, to be honest with you, because this country loves its guns more than it loves its free speech. But that's
and. The funny thing is the character that's the gun lover is also a very much a facsimile for Joe Rogan, which I thought was fucking great.
Yes, and that's why I think I was on the Edward Norton kick too, and that's why it kind of made me jump over to this silliness.
Yeah,
but
and you've seen American History X with Ed Norton in it, haven't you?
Yeah, he's amazing in that too. He's amazing in that.
Yeah.
And also, without we would not be able to. Yeah. So if y'all saw Glass Onion 1, but y'all didn't see Glass Onion 2, or I'm sorry, Knives Out 2. Um, to me, Doug, I have a hard time. I need to see Glass Onion again. I have a hard time saying one's better than the other. But I will say that I thought the second one was more fulfilling and funner. Like, to me, the ending fulfilled you more in this. Like, I think everybody could get into that ending. You saw the ending. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We are within like the 1 week or 2 week spoiler thing. So we will be nice with the spoilers, but we won't be probably in March or June or March or February or something like that. Once y'all get a chance to see it. So we won't, I'm not going to spoil anything, but the ending was fun and classic. And then the last thing we have to, before we move on, is you have to talk about Janelle Monáe's job that she did in this. She was amazing. And actually, Doug, I didn't appreciate it until a couple hours after it. Like, I saw it and I was like, oh, she was all right. And then I really sat down and thought about it, and I was like, no, she was not the whole show, but god damn it, if you would take her out of it, I'm not sure. I mean, it would hold up and all that, but you know what I mean? Like, she was just exceptional. They all were, but she was exceptional.
Yeah, I don't know who you could have gotten to do what she did in that movie. Who else? I mean, there's certainly other actresses that could have, but not a lot. Not a lot.
The looks that she had, like her facial expressions. It wasn't before you said this about this movie.
Yeah.
About how you liked how the lead guy, and we'll get to that. But you liked how when y'all were talking about Nope, you liked how his body expressions and his facial expressions like drove his performance. And that is the same way with her. The way she was side-eyeing people and like she looked through you. Like that one point where she was like sitting there and she just like literally like I thought she was looking at my soul. How like her eyes were just so like it was just, I don't know. Y'all got to see this shit though. Yeah, y'all got to see this shit though. Y'all do. Yeah. If y'all like any kind of mysteries, it's fun.
It's a fun mystery. It's like it's not something where it takes itself super seriously. Like if you're watching like a Hercule Poirot or something like that, that's a whole different ball game. But yeah, it's really good. It's really fun. It's light, but it's really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So unless you have a second one, if you do, time to go. And then your second show that you're watching.
Yeah,
we can get to that.
Yeah, I want to go to the second one. It's the first thing I had was an NA, and that went down pretty fast. My brother-in-law gave me one from this brewery, WeldWerks, which WeldWerks is my brother-in-law's favorite brewery by a mile. This is one in Colorado.
Spoiled. Yes, he's spoiled like that.
Yeah, so this is WeldWerks in a collab with Little Man Ice Cream. So this is a sour. This is a sour ale with ice cream, Little Man house-made brownies, black raspberry puree, vanilla, marshmallows, milk sugar. And I was given this. I didn't buy this, for the record, before Zach starts freaking yelling. So
he knows you, though, your brother-in-law.
Yeah, but this is a very light. This is only 4.1. This is WeldWerks is well known for their like really heavy, bold stouts, and their sours. They're a pretty good sour program too. But you know, I'm gonna give this a go. Put it in Greg's favorite glass too.
Yeah, she likes it too.
I'm sure she does.
I can't believe she lost. I'm still reeling from that.
Look how like you can't really see it. It's kind of like a purplish color. So, but no, I'm assuming from the raspberry puree. And there goes another copyright. So anyway, smells the part. Yeah, if you make a beer with brownies, I'm your guy.
Now that song's in my head.
So that is very creamy, and yeah, the marshmallows are definitely there. The blackberry, black raspberry? So yeah, it's got the fruity, but it's really good. It is almost like an ice cream that's a beer. So it's really excellent, but it's really low ABV, but really drinkable. It's not got a little tartness to it, but I would say it's definitely more tart than sour. So this is definitely more my speed than yours, but yeah. Yeah. So yeah, second one there. Excuse me.
All right.
Yeah, you can get that. Or taste the biscuit.
Yeah, much better.
Of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce.
That is weirdly almost soulful for an old white woman, isn't it? Like, it's not like she's like belting out a soul tune, but that has way more soul
Don't
than
get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wing. Yeah.
Done?
All right. So what we're watching? So you want more from me on that? You know, I have a lot of that kind of stuff going. So, Greg, I'm going to bring up the one that Joel and I just started watching that I messaged you about. You could be like an eye roll. Here it comes.
Zach, why?
Chipped adventures.
Zach, you're going to hell.
Yeah. So
no, this craziness.
Yep. So this is the new season just started. They drop it 4 episodes at a time. It is akin to Love is Blind. It's just this super trash TV stuff. This time, all of them come in. They're all playing as single. Doesn't mean they're all single, but their personas are all single. So the one guy in the top right with the shirtless dude with the pink background, he is the dopiest muscle bound guy I've ever seen. And I remember as soon as he came in, it was just like this super smarmy, muscular white guy attitude. And within like 3 sentences, I'm like, I don't like him. And Jill's like, yeah, I don't like him either. So, yeah, I think his name is actually Brett. Like when we said Brett earlier, I think that's why it was sticking in my head. But so far, it's the same thing. It's, it's trash TV. You're not getting much out of it.
Love it. What's there to hate there? Nothing. That shit's fun. I haven't gotten to it yet. You know me, I'm a binger, so I'll probably wait till like 8 episodes are out and then I'll just jump in like a goofball. So then Whitney and you forced me to see this shit. Mm-hmm. Actually,
we didn't force you, but we said you really should watch it.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's interesting. Keke Palmer is amazing. She's a great actress. She's a great person. Love her. She doesn't get enough that. I don't know who the lead. Still don't know who the lead guy is. Do you know what his name is?
Who the guy in the middle?
Yeah.
His name guy is Daniel, and I want to pronounce it Kaluuya, but I'm probably pronouncing it's like Kaluya. So I'm probably mispronouncing that, but he's just the way he does things is pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's really subdued though, and it's really interesting how he kind of remains calm during all the chaos. Which is weird for a horror movie, but it was funny. And then Keke adds just a different element.
Yeah, they're two like thing. Polar opposites, and they're brother and sister, but they're like complete opposites.
Yeah, and they play off of each other, and that's great. Yeah, he is a good actor for sure.
And Steve Yeun was good, but he wasn't in it very long. So
no, but he played a good he played a good character. Yeah, he was in No Butcher's Right Couldn't Be in Wakanda Forever, which is interesting.
Yeah, he was in Black Panther, but that's right. I haven't seen Wakanda Forever yet, so I didn't realize he wasn't in that.
Yeah, so while we're here, I guess they get compared a lot, or they get paired a lot. Before I watched Nope, I watched this one, which now Get Out, that shit's creepy. And maybe it's creepy because I'm black and but it really gave me the creeps, Doug, and it really was relatable. And I really can say that I was in that situation. No, I wasn't in the craziness, but I've been in situations where I was going to visit a white girlfriend at their house. And they're out there. She drove the whole thing. The whole fucking thing, Doug. And it just creeped me out, the show. Now, I think the show's been out long enough that we could talk about it.
Yeah, there's no spoilers at this point. I think that movie's 4 or 5 years old, so I think.
Yeah, and I knew, Doug, from the second I saw his girlfriend that she was trouble. I was like, you are the trouble. And I was right. And it was just by the way she played the role. She really, really nailed this role, in my opinion. But she nailed the part of like you shouldn't trust her. Like the way she played that role, Doug, to me, she was the star of the show, was the girlfriend. And how she transformed through the movie. Like, you really saw her evil at the end. But you didn't see it, in my opinion, unless you kind of wanted to see it early on. But she played it a way that you shouldn't trust her. And the whole thing was fucking creepy. And it was really well done. I think Get Out is vastly better than Nope, actually.
Oh, I agree. I thought Nope was a really good movie, but Get Out is, like I said, that was one of my top 5 horror movies of the last 10 years.
Get Out was fucking crazy.
that is like a psychological fucking ride there. And
yeah, it is. And that's what I was the way he does his wings, I swear he's right. Thanks, Zach. Go on, Doug.
So I want to ask a question about that because so when I watched that movie the first time, the girlfriend seemed innocuous. I'm a white guy. I don't see the innuendo and things as well because I've not lived my life as a black man. So I didn't saw her, and the parents were super creepy to me. Like, oh, I would have voted for Obama for a third term if I could have. Like, just all this overboard trying to show how progressive they are, that whole shit, and that creeped me out. And then just like what was the sunken room, or what was it called? Yeah, the sunken room, I think, where they were like hypnotize him and all, like that shit was fucking wild. Greg's like,
right. You said you had a question.
No, I was just saying, like, that was question. That was a question. Is it just like my experience? Just I think made me a little blind to that, probably. Like, so you saw that from the giddy up.
The second I saw, and the way she like smiled, and like it felt fake, but it was real. I could just tell. I was like, you are the problem in the show, and I'm going to be right. Like, I immediately saw it. Didn't ruin the show for me at all. Don't get me wrong, but like when shit started happening, I was like, oh yeah, see, I told you, get out. And then the whole thing with his friend and his friends like on the phone with him, telling them to get the fuck out. That was just the whole show was that. This show is pretty fucking amazing, actually.
Yeah,
I really, really, really enjoyed that shit. And this is why I said to you, I sent you a message and Whitney about how representation matters. Like, it hit differently for me because I am a black male than it did for you as a white male. And even Whitney's like, I could see that being terrifying for a black dude. It was. But like, I'm kind of past my, well, not kind of. I'm pretty much past all kinds of dating, all that shit. I haven't dated in years. I'm not single, any of that shit. But like, it would hit a lot different if I was just a 20-year-old dude. Like, that's just it had a great time. It's a great film, great work all the way around with the acting and the writing. That was just a good one. If y'all haven't seen Get Out, y'all need to. So
did you notice the thing at the end? And this is such a subtle, maybe not so subtle thing. No, it's not the sunken place. I don't have I don't have like the 70s thing with the sunken living room. I don't have that, unfortunately. So at the end, the daughter is eating cereal. And did you notice that she didn't eat the cereal with the milk in it?
no.
Because the cereal was not white. And she had the white milk separate from the cereal. That was something that I was like, am I seeing that right? And then I, did the online sleuthing. I'm like, yeah, that was intentional. Like, oh, okay, that was really good because it was almost like, you know what I mean? Like it was subtle, but it wasn't at the same time. So
Right. No, yeah. This is definitely what I'm going to see again for sure. No question.
Yeah, I haven't watched that in a while, so I probably should.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun, and it's one I'm definitely gonna have to tee up for my boys. I'm like, oh, y'all got to see this, y'all. Yeah.
And considering that was Jordan Peele's like first movie,
yeah. Oh, that's
and it was a horror movie. Like everybody's like, Jordan Peele's doing a horror movie. I don't even remember that whole thing. Like, what the fuck does he know about horror? He's from Key and Peele. And they're like, no, he's really fucking great.
Right, and he nailed that. And I bet you a lot of it. I wasn't around, meaning I wasn't really into the whole press release thing. But I bet you he's going to say, or he said that he could relate to a lot of that. So it was easy for him to write it or get the writers and work with the writers and all that, and envision that, because that's sometimes how you feel when you're going to these places as a black man and there's no other fucking black men there and no one there, and you could literally just get kidnapped and no one know what the fuck would happen to you. And then the ending was really satisfying too. The ending was fun. I thought I heard there was an alternative ending, but anyway, when I saw it was pretty good. It was funny too, because at the end it's like, dude, do not put this person in your car. And he even said, didn't he say, fuck, I shouldn't do this?
Yep.
That was like a classic horror, thing, like where everybody's screaming, don't do that, you idiot. And he even said, what am I doing? I shouldn't do this. And again, and then, y'all saw it. But anyway, that was fun movie, Doug. I had a good time with that one.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I did 2 in a row there. I did Nope, which is highly recommended. It's been highly recommended on this stream more than once. And Get Out 2 was another one highly recommended. I remember y'all talking about it too. So, yeah. And of course, if you were born yesterday and get to see Fight Club like me.
Yeah.
And like Doug says, that's a multiple one. Or that's one that you could see a couple times and probably see some different shit that you never saw before and glean a different meaning to certain things, because it's just so wacky. It's kind of hard to decipher what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
It really is fucking wacky. It's like, what? Yeah. And here's one that we talked about before, Doug.
Yes. This I still maintain was my favorite movie of the year. I just saw it for the 3rd time. I usually do not watch movies in this. Like, if I watch something, I rarely watch it again that year for some reason. There's too much other shit I watch, and then I go, oh yeah, I should revisit that. I've seen that 3 times this year, and it is superb. It's really well done. It's funny. It's heartrending at points, and I remember seeing the trailer for it and being like, I have to see that movie. Like, it just looked like something so kind of off the wall that I wanted to see it. Michelle Yeoh is the lead character. She's been in a million things, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And like, she was one of the actresses who did all this martial arts and all that stuff. And the guy who I cannot remember his name off the top of my head, he was the kid in, his name is Ke Huy Quan. He was the kid in the Temple of Doom. So like that was with Indiana Jones. So that, and Stephanie Sue was the daughter. She was absolutely stunningly awesome in that. So it is really a superb movie. Like I said, that was my favorite thing I watched movie wise this year. Go see it. You should go see it.
Yeah, I believe it's Apple TV and Showtime, or is it just Showtime?
I watched it on Prime, but I had to buy it, or you could rent it. So it might be out somewhere where you don't have to pay for it now. But I bought it because I thought it was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Zach, you watch that, it will make you feel emotions. So.
That's good. One thing that made me feel emotional was this. This is the last one I have to offer for what am I currently watching, or what I watched within the past week. It was this. I don't know if you've ever seen this. Spies of Mississippi. It's a PBS documentary. Basically, it chronicles how the state of Mississippi basically spied on civil rights movements and Black people, and anybody who was with Black people, or anybody who was against segregation. It was they basically made a law they made a commission, and the commission basically was to thwart any kind of resistance to segregation because they wanted to keep it. And it's appalling, it's disgusting, it's frustrating, it's annoying, but it's something that you need to know because this shit was not going on just fucking centuries ago. This is going on real recent, y'all. So for those who say, well, why do we need reparations, or racism was so 300 years ago? No. It's still going on, and this documentary on PBS will show you that. Yeah, so it was really good actually. Yeah, so Spies of Mississippi. It's anywhere you can find PBS. It's just another great PBS, documentary. They do them. They're really top notch as far as documentaries. I don't know if we can compare them, anybody else or whatever, but their documentaries are on point. So I started to try to do a documentary a week, and it's Kwanzaa week. Yay!
Yeah.
And I wanted to during Kwanzaa, I wanted to do some Kwanzaa content, do some Black history, do some African American history. So, Spies of Mississippi, check it out, y'all. If y'all want to do some Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa ends on Sunday, but everybody's welcome to enjoy it. It's a celebration of African American culture. It is not a religion. I repeat, it is not a religion. It is not based on religious principles. So if you hear that, that's bullshit. It's just a cultural celebration.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody can celebrate Black American culture. Even if you're white, even if you're Puerto Rican, we welcome everybody to celebrate our culture as we will celebrate y'all's. And we basically live in white culture, so we have no really choice to celebrate that shit or not. And when it's time for us to celebrate other cultures and or sexual orientations like Pride Month and all that, I am there too. So y'all can join me in Kwanzaa. So, and you can also join Doug in watching and liking this.
Yeah, not to step on our episode with Daniel Fisher too much, but this was, I'm going to say, far and away my favorite show I watched all year. It is fucking, it fucks with you. It's smart. It's really funny in parts. Adam Scott is brilliant in it. It's directed by Ben Stiller, of all people, but it's a thriller, and it's, John Turturro, Christopher Walken is in it. I finished it, and I can't wait till I can't wait to see what they do with the next season, because they left it on one of the best cliffhangers I've seen on a show in a long time. So, it's
what in the hell is this lady doing? I'm not even going to ask.
You have to watch it, because I'm not giving anything away in that show. It is in the vein of something like Black Mirror, where it's just going to fuck with your head. You just have to accept it's going to do that. So,
Zach's got a good one. Okay.
All right, Zach, bring it. Let's hear it.
Severance is Apple TV, right?
Apple TV, yes.
Okay. I don't even know why we
Why do we get suckered in every single time?
Well, I don't know. Well, let's reset the whole thing. Let's reset it.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
Everybody loves biscuits.
Taste the butter spread. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the butter spread.
Doug, she would have us killed. She would have us killed. Biscuits, butter spread, wings. I mean, what else can't we eat? Right. What else? What else can't we eat that she's like telling us to eat?
To get your butter spread all on me. I don't like the way it mixes with my mac and cheese.
With my
mac and cheese.
Oh, mac and cheese. I couldn't hear it.
Right. Right. Again, more shit I can't have.
Yeah.
Because when you're at KFC,
more shit I can't.
Special sauce to stir my curiosity. Just give me a 5-piece meal. Oh, what a deal.
I can't eat a 5-piece meal.
Whole box, it's all for me. You know I'll take coleslaw on the side. I could tell you wanted to try the potato wedges.
Potato wedges. Can't do them either.
I can do homemade ones where I can control everything, but I can't eat that shit out because that thing's going to be like, here's your sodium bomb.
Right. And fried. Your fried sodium bomb. There you go. Right. And then we're going to give you dipping sauce that has all kinds of sodium in it too. So, yeah. All right, Doug. Well, that was cool.
Yeah.
Pretty sure we got everything out that we were talking about. I am looking forward to, I told the boys that I'm looking forward to, keep talking about it. I'll watch Maverick here, probably maybe even tonight.
Yeah, I gotta watch that sometime too.
Yeah, I'm watching Maverick, and then I didn't say dumb shit like The Challenge. I watched that dumb shit, and I've been watching bowl games. And yeah, so, yeah, she's literally using Boston Market Menu to make it
might be.
Right.
How many? When's the last time you saw Boston Market? By the way.
I don't know, but I used to love that shit. It was good back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. I think I saw one. I believe I had driven my son down to North Carolina, and I swear I saw one on the trip down there somewhere. We didn't stop, but they're like Blockbusters. They're like next to a Fine if you want to find.
And Sizzlers. Remember Sizzler?
We go in Sizzler.
Don't make fun of Sizzler, man. That shit was bomb.
Mm-hmm. Ponderosa and all those with like the same vein of that. So Ponderosa was the one up where I was. That was like we didn't have a Sizzler, we had a Ponderosa. So.
The Challenge no, it shouldn't.
With a daytime Emmy, maybe.
No, it shouldn't. The Challenge is like the challenges to me is what you described, Circle. It's just dumb reality shit. Zach knows that I know it. I don't know who do we have on? Kinnear. Remember Kinnear said, remember one of the things that he likes to challenge. Remember what he said about that stupid ass show Grey's Anatomy? And he said that like he loves the show, but it should have ended like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still going. And he said even the fans told him to end the show.
There's like 19 seasons of that shitty show.
Right, that shit's still going too. I think it got renewed or some shit, dog. It's insane.
Yeah. How many times can you have some doctor fall in love with a patient and then they die, and then there's a love triangle? Like, okay, we did this with ER for 12 seasons, and ER was insanely better than that show. We had
somebody comes in and shoots up the hospital.
Yeah, or a fire happens in the hospital.
Fire happens. There's a massacre. And the ER gets filled. I mean, the storylines get so old and tired. I don't know how y'all still watching that, but somebody's still watching it enough that they're making ads, Doug, or paying for ads and all that shit. So I don't know what to tell you about that shit. I don't know what to say. So I do need another beer though, and I don't.
Yeah, let's hear it or see it better. I heard it when you opened it.
I don't know. I didn't open it. I don't have it.
Well, you need to go get it.
Yeah, I'll be back.
So, everybody, welcome to the Brother. Oh, while Greg's away, I want to talk about something real quick. I just picked up this book, The Will to Change by Bell Hooks, about men, masculinity, and love. It is not a very thick book, but Bell Hooks is a tremendous author. I've been wanting to get this for a while. Touted by Maya Angelou. It's all about how to break patterns of toxic masculinity and how women should tie into building men up and men should be building themselves up. I'm 30 pages into this and it's like making me rethink how the fuck I think about things. So I think it was $12, but yeah, if you're looking to kind of be willing to explore the idea of maybe I have masculinity built in there that's been pounded into my brain and I didn't realize it, and you're willing to evaluate that and work on it, I highly suggest that book.
I would suggest it too, and I didn't read it.
Yeah,
but
when I'm done with it, I'll be happy to send it along because it's fucking superb. Now you're seeing how the secret sauce is made when Greg gets his beer.
Behind the curtain.
Behind the curtain.
Behind the curtain, I found one of my Christmas gifts, which was...
Oh, hey. Oh, the history of Lambic. Is that what it's about?
Yeah, that's the book, but this is obviously, as you can see, it's a Kindle paperweight. So, yeah, I should be reading more books, Doug.
Yeah, so should I. I don't read nearly enough, so...
Neither do I. So that paperweight was a nice gift. It was actually on my list so that I could feel peer pressured into reading more. So as you can see, I've already jumped in reading about lambics. So, yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, we'll be drinking. We'll be reading more in the new year.
You could drink it more just to do some research if you want.
That was definitely a Freudian slip. Let's see here. Actually, I need my readers, I think. So let's put those bad bitches on. And let's see what I'm drinking here, Doug. I am drinking one from our friends, Venture Brewing.
Oh, yeah. Then
Cascara. Now look at this can. It's really small. Because, Doug, it's a Belgian style quad.
Oh.
Yes.
All right.
With date powder, Cascara aged in bourbon barrels. Yeah. In collaboration with Indeed Brewing.
Okay.
So,
what's the ABV on that thing? Because that can't be a small beer.
Silly. But hold on, I'll get to that. Ooh. I smell bourbon, but I smell more quad, which is good. Let's see what it says here. 12 ounces. Venture notoriously doesn't tell you shit on their cans, and I always give Simon fucking shit about it. Let's see here. It doesn't say. So we'll go to Untapped here. To see what the hell is going on. Ooh. Now I'm not tasting the barrel that much here, Doug.
Huh. Okay.
I am tasting big ass quad though. Cascara quad.
Now you got to look it all up.
Here, oh yeah, barrel aged Cascara quad. 11.6.
That's not bad. Like I was expecting bigger with the quad that is barrel aged, you know?
Yeah, it's big quad. It's very malty. I guess I'm getting the dates more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Not a date person. Didn't I just say before I haven't dated in fucking years? Yeah, so the dates are prominent, but it's still like a multi-base. There's a little barrel age on the end, and there's only a little bit of heat. and there's some sweetness here too. It's a nice big beer, and yeah, I'm gonna finish this one nice and.
You see how dark that
brown?
is?
I don't know. You can't see it, but
yeah, that looks
the
good.
Brown?
Yeah. Goes
really?
For some reason, again, it's not letting me. Every time this happens, whenever I reboot my machine, it like takes away the.
That's some dumb shit.
Yeah.
You brought this up, so now we're going to talk about it. Do you do the tofu, Doug?
I don't because Jill doesn't like. She can't process the soy well, so the soy actually wreaks havoc with her stomach. So I wouldn't be objectionable to try it, but I generally stick with a lot of poultry. So. Or I can do pork, but pork can be problematic with sodium too, depending on the way it's processed. So, but yeah, I wouldn't be objectionable to it, but yeah. And you fall asleep at time.
I need more exposure.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a third because that was only 4, but this is going to be interesting because this is a New York State brewery called Talking Cursive out of Syracuse. They are woman and veteran owned. So After Dark, this is a Czech style. It's called Crispy Girls After Dark, Czech Dark Lager. So I'm really interested to see. They've done some really interesting things. I had a stout that they had aged in gin barrels that I thought was excellent. So I'll be curious to see how this one is because I like dark lagers. So this will be hopefully good. Look at that. Doesn't look super dark. I was expecting it to be darker, but yeah, that's trying to pretty roasty. Like so that's interesting. It's pretty crisp. Like yeah, definitely not like a lot of dark lagers I've had. Maybe it's a Czech style that makes it different. I don't know. I haven't had a Czech style dark lager before, so this is really good and interesting. And this one is low too. This one is I think 5.4, 5.2. So yeah, I like Schwarzbiers too. So yep. What do you mean? Are you hearing noise?
No, so yeah. Jeff, when can we see you on here, by the way? I tried, Daniel. I tried. Good luck. Good luck though. We're here. Whenever Jeff's ready, we're here. But Doug, I wanted to see if you had any comments on this douchebag whose name is Andrew Tate.
I have a lot of comments about that. No, go ahead. And he's in prison now for sex trafficking, where he belongs.
Yeah. And how did he get there, Doug?
Because our climate girl Greta Thunberg, basically told him that he had trolled him, and then he couldn't take it, so he made a video where he mocked her, and then they had somebody deliver pizza to where he was, and the Romanian authorities realized, oh, that pizza box is near us, and then they went and raided it where he was staying.
That was the funnest news item of the week for sure.
That was the best news all week for sure.
That guy is such a major league asshole. He has zero redeeming qualities.
No.
So,
and how for a guy who styles himself as a quote unquote alpha male, just get your fucking panties in a bunch over a 19-year-old girl just trolling you because you trolled her first, and then you got taken down with one of the top 25 most liked tweets of ever in the history of Twitter, and then now he's in jail.
Well, and I love all these right-wing idiots who scream and holler about the children, and lefties trying to not only what is it? What are the words they use now? Oh, grooming. They like to use, and corrupting our kids and all that. They're the first ones to pop off on Greta or that David Hogue guy, who's very outspoken about
David Hogg, yeah.
school, getting schools shot up and stuff like that. It's funny how quickly they come after the kids when the kids have an opinion, and the kids don't just sign off or agree with their dumb shit. So, yeah, I don't know.
Oh. Shit. Well, I mean, she wasn't young, but Jesus.
No, but she was a fucking.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Barbara Walters. Oh my God, she was revolutionary. She was another trailblazer, women-wise. She was in spaces where women were and dominating when it wasn't cool. She reminds me a lot of Betty White without the sense of humor. But Barbara was a journalist, right?
Yep.
So whereas Betty was but Betty was a comedian. So Betty could inject her her humor, but she could also inject her opinion. Whereas Barbara had to mostly keep it straight for her identity as journalist. Learning a lot about this, being really good friends with Chris Drosner, the beer baron, and about how just watching him move. I'm not a journalist, so I can just spout off my opinion and all that. I'm here for my opinion. Whereas people want his opinion, but also people want him to straight shoot on things. So then it's really interesting to see how Chris navigates that. But it kind of reminds me of, Barbara Walters. No, but it's my video isn't choppy, Doug, but it does say that my internet connection is bad or so.
Is it saying mine is?
No, I think it says connection is unstable.
Okay.
For me, if I'm on Wi-Fi, try plugging in my router. My router's plugged in, y'all.
Yep. All right.
Little inside ball. But what were you gonna say, Doc?
No, I was just saying, let me just check mine super quick. I'll be back right in a second.
Okay, cool. And I'll talk about Barbara Walters. So yeah, Barbara was she was one of the first ones, JHG. Like there's a lot of people that can get people to talk and make sense. Like make them feel comfortable enough. Howard Stern, like him or not, is one of them. He, from what I know or what I remember, I haven't heard Howard in a while, but he makes people comfortable enough that they pretty much say anything around them. And it's funny because they know walking in, same with Barbara. You knew walking in a Barbara that she was going to grill you, and she's going to be professional, nice, but she was going to grill you, and she was going to get you to say something you probably wouldn't want to say anywhere else. So, Barbara Walters, legendary, visionary, pioneering, all that. Whether you like The View or not, she helped start that shit. It's still going after 600,000 years and all that. So yeah. All right.
Yep. And also Pele passed away this week too, and that was an icon of soccer. So like we'd be remiss if we didn't pay our respects there. So
yeah, the end of the year always seems weird. Look, this is the same time last year that we lost Betty White, and it always seems like this. It always seems because her birthday's in January. I know this because we're both Capricorns, and she was going to be 100, and she never made it. But and I don't know how old Barbara Walters is, but Barbara Walters was old. Like you said, she quit The View 10 years ago.
Yeah.
She had done that for it seemed like 40 years, but it's really probably only 20. But
let me see how old she was.
Yeah, and it always seems like, Doug and I have Fridays seem to be a day where people die, and Doug and I seem to always be on when this shit happens. So Thanks, Daniel, for that.
And Barbara Walters was 93, by the way.
Oof.
Nice, pretty long go.
Right. That's almost more than half my life at this point.
Yeah.
I would still have to live to get to where Barbara made it to. So, R.I.P.
I don't have to almost double my life as it is right now.
Right.
Where she is. So
right, exactly. And R.I.P. to her. She inspired many women.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure she inspired some men too. On the journalism angle, she was before Oprah. She was before everybody looks at Oprah as a pioneer, and she was, but like Barbara was before her, yo. So like, and before her in many years. So, respect.
Yep,
nothing but respect there. So, cheers to Barbara Walters. I'll have a quad for her.
Yeah, I'll have a Czech dark lager. So yeah. By the way, to answer your question, Zach, earlier, yes, there was a war going on. My wife is watching the movie Pinocchio, which is Del Toro's new take on it, and there was actually a war scene in it, so that's why it was a bit loud. So it's okay.
And I'm gonna hit Jill on that. I want to know her thoughts, because that movie's getting mixed reviews.
Well, she loves Del Toro, how he directs, and he directed Pan's Labyrinth, which is one of her all-time favorite movies. And that's a really good movie if you haven't seen that. This is Del Toro's first stop-action movie, so I'll be interested to check it out too.
So I did want to talk to you about this, but I was going to wait till after the stream. But I'm not going to wait till after the stream. We're going to do this right here.
Hey, why not? Let's do it.
This is my Kindle Paperweight that I got for Christmas. I love it. It was my favorite gift, actually. So with that being said, though, Doug, I'm still struggling on I need some fiction. So I wanted to ask you about two authors. I wanted to ask you about Chuck Wendig, actually. And is Chuck Wendig's genre is generally horror, or is it psychological horror? Where are we at with that?
No, it's not psychological horror. And he's done YA books, and like he doesn't just do one thing. He goes all over the place, and not all over the place. He doesn't do romance, but like general, like I would call it relatable horror. Like not like gory stuff, not like super gory. Not there are some people who die gruesomely, but like he's just really good at writing stuff and really good at writing like. He puts you in the scene really well. And some authors are good at writing, but aren't good at like putting you in the middle of it as well.
Yeah.
That's what he does extraordinarily well.
When you mean by relatable, like shit like Get Out?
Get Out was relatable, but Get Out was psychological too. This stuff he does isn't really psychological, but you could see how the horror takes place, even though some of it is fantastical, like borderline fantasy kind of stuff. If you want to really go in and do stuff with him, I mean, I could suggest some of his books that I've read. I haven't read all of his stuff, but
I was looking at Wanderers, and I was looking at
Wanderers. That's a huge book. I mean, huge. It is a 31-hour audiobook. And his sequel Wayward is just as long. Those are his two biggest books he's ever done. But
is this something that you can like? I want something encapsulating that.
I
want something that I can't put down.
Start with his Miriam Black books. Miriam Black is. I'm not giving anything away by how he does the books, but she is a girl who, when she touches somebody, can tell how and when they're going to die. It's. And the way he writes her is fucking phenomenal. Like she's just, I can't do it.
I'll talk about this on the side. Do you have anything else you could recommend me as far as I like historical fiction. So I have an author for that. Yeah, I like historical pieces that you could, that the author takes some liberty with, and but I like those because they're encapsulating. Like I fall into that world. I want to read something where I fall into the world. And I can't, you know what I mean? when I pick it up, I just get back to being, you know what I'm saying? That's the kind of reads that I want.
Yeah. Well, then I'm going to suggest a guy named Caleb Carr who wrote he wrote 2 books that I really highly suggest, and I've read 2 of his other books, which weren't as good. It's the book called The Alienist, which was made into a show for TBS. That's how good it was. But it's basically a take on like a psychiatrist, very much like Sigmund Freud, but in grimy New York City, like gangs of New York City setting. And it's very engrossing. You get right in. You are literally feel like you're in the middle of like the dregs of New York City.
Yes,
and it's great, really well done. And then he wrote his second book was called Angel of Darkness, was essentially a sequel to that, and that was superb too. So those are 2 historical fiction books that I would highly recommend.
All right, I'm gonna hit you up. I'm not gonna remember that shit, but I'll hit you up.
Oh, I'll be happy to talk books. I'm all happy to do that.
All right, yeah, I already know. So I'm like, let's see. JG says he started the murder.
I have not read those.
Martha Wells. What was that first one, Doug?
The first, you mean historical fiction, or are you talking about the Wendig stuff? The historical fiction was Caleb Carr, and the book was called The Alienist. Which was what psychiatrists were called when they first started. They were called alienists for some reason. I don't know what the etymology is of that, but yeah.
Yep, he said yes.
Let me pull that up because that way.
And I think we talked about this with Mallory. What is your? But let's go back in case people missed it or we remember. What is your thoughts on these things?
On what?
What are your thoughts on these things?
I think they're great. I don't personally use them. I prefer having like a physical book in my hand. But like if you're going somewhere, and it actually probably be better for me to use one of those because I read like 5 books at a time. I could, depending on how I'm feeling, how I'm reading this genre and I'm reading this genre. And some nights I'll just be like, I don't really feel like reading horror. I'm going to read, some like a bell hooks, or I'm going to read something else where I just kind of want to do different stuff. But I tend to just get the books and read them. So I have like a pile next to my bed that's like this high of books that I'm in the middle of. So yeah.
Mallory said that.
Yeah.
Kindle has been my friend for reading. Yeah, JC, I wanted it for traveling whenever I get back to doing that. And I like the portability of it. Yeah, I love the portability of it. Doug, you wanted to bring this up?
Yeah, this is the book I was telling you about. So
here we go.
And like it said, it was made into a show on TBS. You can watch a show if you want, which is not half bad. It's not nearly as good as the book, but that's the thing. It's about Laszlo Kreisler is the actual psychiatrist or the quote unquote alienist. But you can see even the cover that's the cover. That's where it's set, like in that old New York City, but not like in the fancy ritzy parts. Although there is a character that is from that part that is part of the main group. But yeah, it's really good.
Cool. I'll look that up. Yeah, JC. I'm with you. That's why I asked for paperback or a paperweight. Is that what it's called? Paper. Whatever. You know what I mean. Anyway, yeah, because I wanted to be able to take my books, and I also wanted to have like no excuse for reading, so I didn't have to haul books around and all that too. So yeah. I'm sorry, yeah, paperweight. Yep. It's really cool. It's cool because yeah, you probably won't be able to see it, but
so I posted over there in the private chat for what you.
Yeah, it has like its own light, so like that's what I wanted. This one. So what you gonna say, Doug?
Yeah, I gonna say Jeff Tepper asked about do I do audiobooks or read them? I do both. Audiobooks for me when I'm like doing shit, like if I'm doing stuff around the house or I'm driving. But if I have the time and I can sit down and actually read, I prefer an actual physical book. But
yeah, I need to do audiobooks more. And once I get back out on the road driving, I will absolutely do them more. But they could be pricey though, right, Doug? I mean, as much as a regular book.
Well, it depends. If you do, let's say you're doing Amazon. Now, you can also do it through your public library. If you have a public library, they often have things where you can go and reserve a book, just like you would a book. and they only have so many copies. So when somebody's done, they return it, then you get it next. So you could do that so it costs you nothing other than a library membership. Whereas Audible, you could do things where you buy credits depending on how many books you go through a month. Like I just do one a month and it's $15, but I get a credit. And then whatever book I want to get that I can buy that's able to be bought in a credit. I mean, I bought an anthology books, like where it's like 3 books into one that are normally like $50, and I bought them for 1 credit. So there's ways you can find deals. Like when you buy, so that's a good way to do it.
You mean the audiobook though, when you're saying that, right?
Yeah, the audiobook. Yeah. But you could do audiobooks through your library too. You can like I'm in the New York Public Library thing, and I can get them through there too if I want.
I keep forgetting. Mallory would kill me because I keep forgetting about libraries. Remember, she was our library. She is our library advocate.
Yep. So is Wendig. Wendig's big on libraries.
Yeah, and Mallory would literally, as she said, not be able to do what she does. She had to buy all the books that she does for references. So
yeah, because she reads like hundreds of books per book she writes. So it's
right.
Like
she's
crazy.
Yeah. Right. So you can't be pulling any fake news bullshit on her because that woman does her fucking work.
She puts it in the research. So yeah.
Yes. And y'all ain't gonna be able to catch her on shit. Speaking of not being able to catch her on shit, I'm sure Jeremy has a problem trying to catch her on shit, but not trying, but you know what I mean. Anyway, what the fuck am I talking about? Unrelated. I was jealous of Jeremy Lambert's cardigan, so I asked for one for Christmas. So did you get one, though, Zach? It's the real question. You asked for it, but did you get it?
Yeah, did you get it?
And if you did get it, it means nothing unless we got a picture. So
yep.
Sorry, it means nothing.
Yeah,
video would help too, but it means nothing unless we got a picture of you in it. So.
Yeah, I would also like to say Zach will be thrilled to know this. This is one of my Christmas presents: house slippers. I got house slippers for Christmas.
Damn, those look like some nice ones,
dude. These are like, the only problem is the sole's really thick, so I've been not used to walk because I usually just walk around in socks in my house, right? And I managed to kind of sort of not trip up my step, but catch my sole on them. But I'll get used to that. But man, Joe got me these. They're like not real fur, but like faux fur lined, and they are fucking warm and comfy, and I love them. So,
and those are perfect to wear out to the hot tub.
Well, I have outdoor slippers that I would wear out to the hot tub. So these are strictly indoor. I'm using the Zach method of just there's indoor slippers and there's outdoor slippers.
Right. Right. But Zach goes to forget it.
Yeah, and also our hot tub is shut down because it's too freaking expensive to run it in the middle of winter with how cold it is. So yeah, we're just shut it down until March.
Aw. It is cold out there though.
Dude, it was like, I mean, I know it was cold where you were too. Like we were having wind chills at like minus 30 up here, and like it was fucking cold. That was not fun.
No, and then you're still what, 3? Oh no, an hour and a half from Buffalo, right?
Yeah, Buffalo's probably more like 2.5 hours. But man, that's not great there, man. It is bad. They shut everything down. Like they were shutting highways down. They got, like you think, oh, Buffalo, they're ready for snow. Nobody's ready for fucking 5 feet of fucking snow. Nobody, unless you're in Antarctica. There's none.
Okay, first of all, I don't remember talking shit about multiple footwears. Maybe you did, though.
No, all I did was make fun of him for changing to go answer the door. That I thought was a little overboard, but because he'll change to go answer the door if somebody's delivering food or something. And these aren't backless.
Yeah,
Zach's like they're backless. No, they have a ridge. See?
Yeah. You act like they're Crocs and shit, Zach.
Yeah. Oh, also Crocs, I will make fun of people for. Even though I had to help my son today about something, and he was there, and he had gotten Crocs for Christmas, and I started mocking him. Yes. as we were helping him get his passport. So right for the passport age, I'm just mocking him because he got Crocs on.
Right. So Doug, we weren't going to. Zach a little bit of inside ball, buddy. We weren't going to hang out that much tonight, but we wanted to come and say hi to y'all because we missed you last week.
Yep.
But let's get into a conversation about this weekend. This is New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And if y'all been around here long enough, y'all heard me rant about New Year's. So we don't really have to go back and do that. But I do want to tee Doug up and ask him about New Year's Eve. And does this New Year's Eve have any special meaning for you? I don't even know if you're going to get this answer or not. And yeah, or I don't know if I even know the answer is what I'm saying. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
What's up about New Year's Eve and New Year's this year? Anything special for you? Nothing special? You don't care? And are you doing anything special? What's going on?
No, nothing going on. I generally do not like going out on New Year's Eve because there's too many freaking drunk people driving around, especially now that COVID is basically all the restrictions are lifted in most places. And so everybody's kind of going out. And I don't like that. I don't like being at the whim of other people, like being irresponsible. So I will just stay at home and I might have a drink or two with Jill and we'll just do that. And, yeah, I mean, I have some thoughts about going into the new year, but we kind of discussed some of them when Matt's stream was on 2 weeks ago. But I want to hear what about your plans? What do you got going on?
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't do anything. And at this point, it was funny because we went out to get some storage. We needed another storage rack for our storage area so we could pile stuff up and all that. And when we went out, I was putting on my mask and I was just thinking, I was like, I don't even wear my mask now for COVID. I don't want this flu. Like, I've been hearing people about, have you heard if anyone near you or any of your friends get this flu? It sounds worse than fucking COVID. So that's why I'm like, and nothing, COVID's bad, don't get me wrong, but this flu sounds worse. That's why I'm like, I'm wearing this mask for the flu. Mm-hmm. Like, I almost want to have a mask that says I'm wearing this for the flu, but I don't really care because I really don't care why you think I'm wearing a mask. I really don't give a fuck.
Me neither.
But if you're going to ask me though, or we're gonna have this conversation, I'm absolutely wearing it for the flu and not really for COVID. But it works for COVID too. That's the best part, Doug. Mm-hmm. It works for the flu. It works for COVID. It works for all that. Because remember that one year where we were separating ourselves and a lot of people were wearing masks and we were not.
Nobody's getting cold. No one
got the flu. No one got colds. No one got the flu. Few people got COVID. I wonder how that all works. So I still can see some people rolling their eyes at me. I don't give a fuck.
Roll your eyes all you like. Yep.
Away. Keep going with it. All the energy you want. I don't give a fuck. I don't want the flu. Yeah. So the lady came home with a cough 3 days ago. I haven't seen her for 3 days. So, and that's because she said, I have the cold. I don't want to so I'm just going to isolate myself. And we have this house set up. We have enough bedrooms. We have 4 people. We have 4 bedrooms. We have enough bedrooms to isolate somebody. And we made this, during COVID, and like she has a table outside of our door and she has a bell. And if she needs anything, she rings the bell and she gets served. Basically, we bring her the food, take her food away, all that stuff. So like she even said tonight when she came home from work, I don't even have a cough anymore, but I'm gonna wait one more day just because I don't want y'all to get sick. And like that's where we're at now. And to me, that's just a smarter, like we used to not care that much, and this is smart. Like remember, you used to come home with a cold, dog, and well, if everybody else got it, everybody else got it. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't like any let's isolate you, or at least you hang out in the room a little bit, and you know what I mean. Well, so it's just I think we're smarter. I think generally we're smarter populace because of it. So but yeah, to answer your question, no, not doing anything, watching bowl games, just chilling.
Yeah,
probably watch a movie or 3 or 4. The boys and I watched I forgot, we watched the first Star Wars trilogy. The boys hadn't seen the Return of the Jedi, and then they hadn't seen the other ones for a long time, so we caught up. So now I think we're going to start the Phantom Menace and that shit. So then, yeah, because they want to see them all, and then we're gonna get to the Raiders of the Lost Ark series.
Oh, I was going to ask if you guys had ever seen that, if they'd ever seen it. You know?
No, not yet. So
Okay.
we're on to that one. We're also going to be doing the Mad Max series coming up here, and then we're going to do one of those stupid ass Johnny Depp movies. What's the Pirates of the Caribbean? Only one of them is worthy. The rest of them are trash.
They're all junk. But...
Okay, but I just want to see the one, just to show them the one, and then if they want to go further than that, I already told them.
You go ahead.
Right.
So you're going to start with the Mad Max. You're going to start with Mad Max and then Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome and work your way up through, right? And then you're going to finish with Fury Road. I hope, because Fury Road's the best out of all of them by a lot.
Yes, I heard about yes.
Yeah.
But also that series is one of the highest rated series, Doug, on Metacritic. I don't know if you know that.
No,
that's why we had like when they they rank, so they take like a series like the Star Wars movies, and then they'll rank them and then they'll do an average. Well, the average for Mad Max series was one of the highest, if not the highest, and that's why I got on my radar, because I was like, damn, I didn't think the Mad Max movies were so great. But then the latest ones are the ones that pulled it up, if I recall correctly.
What's funny is the Beyond Thunderdome I thought was better than the first one, and Tina Turner acts in it, and she's great in
it. I remember that. She had that song too.
Yeah. So
I forget what song was that. I don't remember.
We Don't Need Another Hero.
Yes, and that was on the soundtrack, and then that was like one of the best songs of that summer, whenever that summer was.
Yeah. Have you and your kids watched the John Wick movies?
No. Nope.
Please watch those.
Okay.
Like that is what's funny is I kind of stumbled into that. Like John Wick came out in the theaters, and it's kind of cool to be like, oh, I saw that in the theaters. Nobody saw that fucking thing in the theaters. Nobody. Everybody saw that video. It was like, holy shit! Like thinking Keanu Reeves as a kick-ass badass guy was not something people did. They still considered him fucking Ted Theodore Logan from Bill and Ted, maybe probably more popular Neo. Neo was not really the brilliant guy. He was just one. He was not a brilliant guy. Where Wick is just, it is on par with the Bourne movies for action movies. I think for like that is how good. Now Bourne and Wick are filmed completely different storylines, but like for me, they're just like when you look at just complete action movies, those are just so both of them are like kind of in a class by themselves. And then some people will mention the Raid movies. I watched the first one, which was the action in that was fucking great, but I'm not really as into that as I am to the Wick movies and the Bourne movies. I've seen all of the Bourne movies probably 10 times. I love those movies. So
okay, yeah,
and John Wick and the next John Wick movie is coming out next year. That's why I would suggest watching them.
Yeah, all right, and that's why we're also watching Indy too, because we know Indy's.
Yeah, that's right.
Or Harrison Ford's last Indy is coming up, and then this is the first. Yeah, and then this is also the first one without Spielberg, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, my boys still have yet to see Back to the Future too, so we're behind, but we're catching up.
Back to the Future has a lot of problematic elements to it, but yeah.
Sure, but if you just take it as this, if you just take it as just a fun, I told him not to try to like make it serious. Just have fun with it. Those are movies you just have fun with, and don't try to be making these pieces add together, because it's just going to get problematic for me.
Because movies back then, they didn't have to connect dots like they do now, because people are a little more sophisticated about how they watch movies.
Sure. Yeah. So. Oh yeah. And also too, like there's better planning, like in my opinion. Whereas like, Rian Johnson knows that he's making knew that he was making, at least two more Knives Out, so he can in his head plan.
Map it out.
Yeah, and it's different because they're all going to be standalone movies. They're standalone. You don't need to see one without the other. You can watch Glass Onion, and then go back to see Knives Out. But my point is that when you know you're making 3 movies, you know what I mean? Like, like the Dark Knight series, you're making 3 of them. You can really like plan that out and make it really, really good. You can make them separate, stand alone, but you can also, make them where they complete. Like The Amazing Spider-Man is my example. They canceled the 3rd one because Andrew, what's his name?
Garfield
was a fucking idiot and acted a damn fool. I don't know if you know this, or I don't know if you know this.
No, because I haven't paid attention to that stuff.
Yeah. Long story short, he was just acting a damn fool, and they just canceled the 3rd one. Now, I argued with my boys about how the Amazing Spider-Man, because my boys were like, "Well, it just wasn't great." And I'm like, "Listen, but if they would have made a 3rd movie, to me, it would have made the 2nd one better, and might have made the 1st one better. Might have made the whole it might have rounded out the whole trilogy in a way, you know what I mean, that it kind of left that 2nd one open. If you recall, at the end, it was like, this is kind of stupid. Why is this ending this way? And it would have made sense if there was a 3rd one, but Andrew Garfield just fucked it all up because he was being a douchebag. I'm not saying he is a douchebag, but he was being a douchebag. He wasn't showing up to the events, so they just canceled it. They're like, if you're not going to show up to the promo events that you said you were going to, because they all sign contracts that do like certain amount of promos, and you have to do this.
Yeah, and you have to do all that shit. That's part of like, if you're going to do a movie, you need to promo it.
Right. You need to go on. Right, and it even works with books. Our friend Jeremy was talking about and Mallory, traveling for their books and traveling for their projects and. Promoting that shit. So you got to do that shit. So anyway, long story short, sometimes those, when you can make 3 movies in a row and know about it, and then I don't know, just go get it back to the Star Wars thing real quick. It's really interesting to talk to the boys about it because, George Lucas only really wanted to do 3 films, and y'all pretty much pushed him to do more, and then and that's why the kids are like, because they're talking about, they're like, the Star Wars, universe is disjointed. I'm like, that's because there's so many hands in it. And you know what I mean? Like Lucas didn't, I forget where he stopped making them, but he stopped making them at some point. And that's when, Rian Johnson made one. So what did he make, The Last Skywalker? Or Daniel will be able to tell us. Anyway, he made one of those
Daniel
movies.
Give us a lowdown.
Was that?
Daniel will give us a lowdown on what that is.
Yeah, he will. And Rian Johnson said recently that he's interested in, and he's hopeful that he's going to be able to do another Star Wars. So I don't know. He's pretty good at the whodunit. I'm not sure what he's done before that. Do you know what he's done before that, Doug? Before Knives Out?
No, I don't. But I can look that up with the internet. And and he spells his name weird. It's RIAM, which makes it easier.
Yes,
He did Rogue One for Star Wars. He did The Last Jedi, Looper. Yeah, I see that. And interesting. So I see that they have Knives Out 3, and apparently Knives Out 3 has Jason Gordon-Levitt, who is also in Looper. He's been in a bunch of things, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so they already got a little cast for that. I wonder if they're filming that yet.
Yeah, I don't know. They just had like a screenshot with him and all this stuff. So
that's definitely for 2024, though.
He directed 3 episodes of Breaking Bad too. Oh, he directed Terriers. Wow. Yeah.
No idea. You know anything about Looper, Doug?
No, it's something that I've always meant to watch and I haven't. And Jason Gordon-Levitt is in it, and so is Bruce Willis, I believe, way back before Bruce Willis got diagnosed with the affliction he has. So I can't remember what it's called.
And I don't remember what that is, but it's a degenerative thing, or it eats at you, I think, or something like that. Anyway, he's still in talks with Lucasfilms. Not that I believe a full trilogy is still in the cards. Star Wars seems to be all over the place. We could probably talk another hour and a half about that shit.
Well, yeah, and then there's the shows, there's the animated stuff. There's like they have their fingers in a lot of pies. So like,
but their shows seem to be better than their fucking movies. So.
Yeah, and I just saw someone talking about Andor, and
Yeah.
they said that was just, it was a good show, not even in the Star Wars, just a good show. And now they were showing like Star Wars is like good and evil, and it's just very clear, defined lines. And Andor was much more about the gray areas, which makes me want to watch it. Because I don't like it when it's definitively good versus evil, because that's not how life works. People aren't just 100% good or 100% evil. There's shit they do that's in the middle, you know. So, and I don't see how you can make it so that, you know what I mean? Yeah,
we're all sinners.
yeah. Wow. Okay. Let's not get religious.
I knew you would love that shit. I say that shit to the lady here, and she's like, "You've seen the look. You've seen it."
Yes, I have. Hey, so can I go? I have one last one, and I'm doing this, and I hope Zach's here for this because he'll make fun of me for it, and rightfully so. This is the Pastryarchy, which I always get their beers from Duclaw. Unicorn Farts After Dark. Chocolate cinnamon crunch breakfast stout with gold glitter.
Are you serious? Where is Zach? He said he's getting dinner. Isn't that what he said?
Yeah, he said that. So
for 12
man,
minutes.
look at Daniel just mentioned a whole bunch of stuff for Star Wars. So and then JHG, you're closer to Duclaw than I am. Like, that's in Baltimore. It's not far.
Yeah, JHG, what's up?
Yeah, so nice pour, nice and dark. I don't see any of the glitter in it, but
JHG, did you get any back home beer?
Yeah,
buddy.
Unicorn charts. Thanks, Daniel.
HG's been busy during this holiday season.
Yeah. So anyway, this smells awesome. Smells like a breakfast, like with syrup and all that stuff. That's how it smells. That is very much a dessert beer. So I'm going to have to read. So it's a collaboration. I didn't realize that the Unicorn Farts collaboration is between Duclaw Brewing and Diablo Donuts. So it's a fashion as a dessert stout. So, and it is. It's made with lactose, cacao, cinnamon, and edible gold glitter, and cinnamon cereal. Zach, behold! I picked this up just so you could mock me for it. Unicorn Farts After Dark, chocolate cinnamon crunch breakfast stout with gold glitter. Just for you, sir. Cheers. It's very much a dessert beer, though. And this was the biggest one I had. It was 8.5. But.
And for that, we have a dance.
And remember when you were so resistant to TikTok, and then now you see shit like this on TikTok all the time?
Well,
it's so dumb, but it's so good.
It's so on brand for you, Doug.
It is.
Shoot. So is it good though?
It's good. It's not great. Problem is if it's don't egg them on. Oh, Zach's Xbox is named Unicorn Gravy. Yeah, you're right, Daniel. The thing you shared with me and Greg was we cannot play that. I don't know. Maybe he didn't share it with you, Greg, but I saw it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We can't play that one because no. That was too far out of bounds, even for us.
Winnie the Pooh? Is that it?
Can you play it without the part that's like extraordinarily offensive?
No, but it was Winnie the Pooh, though, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. I refuse to play the whole thing. Share, Daniel. JC, I'll gladly send it to you.
Yeah, we can
Right
send it
after-
to you. We are playing that on the show.
What a banger. So, whatever. I don't care what y'all say.
That's a banger.
Oh, now he goes up.
People in the back just slay me, man.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Get your honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it mixes with my chicken wings. Get none of that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes on my chicken wings. Take us out, Moose.
Taste the biscuit.
Woo! The boo at the end was great. And that dude, actually, he did great on the keyboards, but he just looks like the kind of guy that's like super uncomfortable on camera, and she just loves it.
She eats it up. She loves the attention.
Yeah.
Literally, she eats
Are they a
it.
couple? Are they a couple, or are they just doing the music together?
I feel a connection.
I'm not sure that guy can maintain a connection, but yes.
I don't like
I love how he's just like,
The people in the background dancing around. What the fuck is that sign the guy is holding up in the back with the yellow dart?
it mixes with my mac and cheese.
And he's like,
Cause when you're a
toasters and moose.
KFC,
2009, Rock Your
rock
Body.
your body.
you got that special
Home.
What the-
Something reunion. Now we're watching it like it's a Zapruder film.
cause when you're a KFC,
I can't read that shit.
I can't read it either. Time for the readers.
It's an ad for their next gigs.
Rock your body. Yeah, I can't.
Rock Your Body Home. Something
you got that special
anniversary reunion tour. I think
Yeah.
it's- They tour.
sauce to serve.
Told you there was a connection there, Doug. I'm telling
If
you.
if they tour,
I'm telling you.
if they tour, we should, as collectively as a group, find out where that is.
Find out where
go.
they
And
right.
go. Taste the biscuit. Yo.
It's an ad for their next gigs, right? Right. Right. Just grab them in the biscuits, Doug.
Okay. Humpty Dance. Shock G. Shock G, also RIP.
Yeah, they need to be moist and not too flaky. He's right. She said, "Moose, take them out." So that's them.
Moose. The guy's name is Moose. He does not look like somebody that should be nicknamed Moose, but that's like somebody
with
that,
the honey sauce. Get your honey with the honey sauce. Get your honey sauce on me.
that is like
I don't like the way it mixes with my
What's
that.
up?
There's people dancing in the background. It's like drunk white people at a wedding doing the electric slide.
Oh, look at this, Doc. Look.
Hey, put them shits back on, Greg. Let's go.
Absolutely put them shits back on. Look at that. I'll even do the dance for you. Mm-mm.
Oh, here it is.
Hey, Utah District 12. Hey, Utah District 12. Listen.
I can't do her voice though, dog. I can't. Like that's where it has to end for me. When she starts talking, I can't do it. That is the video of 2022 for me. So.
Yeah, I'm more partial to Taste the Biscuit, but that's just me.
Biscuit with the butter spread. To get your butter spread all on me. I don't like the way it mixes with my mac and cheese.
So she wants you to put who puts honey sauce on mac and cheese? That definitely sounds like some white shit.
Yeah. Also, JHG said the guy looks like a misplaced wizard. That's about as apt as a description as you can say. you know they tour and go to Ren fairs and stuff like that, right?
You say it like it's a bad thing.
Oh man.
All right, Doug. Well, before we get out of here, I just want to thank all of our guests.
Yep.
So, who were they? Who are they? We started off last year with Brian Weltzbacher. Oklahoma's okay. We had JC Williams, who is a Black Twitter beer guy. We had Jeff Bogle. We had Jackie Summers. We had Daniel Fisher. We had the Pressberries. We had Barry Jenkins. We had Aaron Yavelberg. We had Charlie from KC. Remember, he sent us beer. We had Dan Bobian and Tiffany Martin and Carla Lauder. And remember, we had the sex ed lady, Susanna.
It's Susanna, and then we had Joellen Noddy as well. So we had 2 sex educators this year.
Yes, we did. We had John from Weyerbacher, who I went on to start a space with. We had Art Eddie. Or actually, we didn't have Art Eddie. Art Eddie got moved. We didn't have Art Eddie in 2022.
Yeah, that's something we'll need to correct next year. So
yeah, another one is Afro Beer Chick, who's thinking about not being Afro Beer Chick anymore. I don't know if you heard this, Doug, but we'll have to get her on to talk about that. Yeah, we had Zach Rosenberg.
That was the marathon show of all marathon shows. We've had some shows go long. Nothing like with Zach.
Nothing like with Zach. We had our friend Kyle Thompson. We had Mari Zorian. We had Darren Carter. We had, of course, Dave Mack. We'll have him back. We had April Dove. One of my favorite interviews and conversations with Nick North. And then we had that was hilarious and it was great. And Jeff Harry. And we had, I love how I have it written here, Jessica fucking Jones from Giant Jones. We had do we have Jesse Nice? Yeah, we had Jesse Nicely.
Yeah, that was
yes.
Lawrence.
Yes,
she was the.
She was awesome.
She was the indigenous. Wasn't indigenous. She was from one of the South Pacific islands, and I cannot remember what the fuck it was.
Yeah, it's the one.
No, she was not. It used to be Burma, and then they.
Yes.
So
the one that's going to the revolution.
Yeah.
So the coup. Yeah. And then she had. I'm sorry, you go.
No, I was going to say she was great, and she cooked. That was like I was
like, she did. Then we had like a 2-hour. That was one of those ones where the after show might have been longer than the normal show.
Yeah, the after show was like she cooked in the after show. We're just watching her cook, and I was like, "This is awesome."
And then we were boozing. She showed us her liquor cabinet. We were drinking. That was great. Then we had Roberto. Of course, our friend Roberto Santiago. We had We didn't have Wendy Aarons, did we?
No, that was when I had the snafu where we thought we were one more day in the in Maine, and we had not. We had to leave immediately, and I had to drive 9 hours home from Maine in the middle of the night. So that was not great. But we're going to reschedule her. I emailed her. We're going to have her next year. We had her friend Karen Walrond on, which was great. She was Chocolinks. She was the one that was going sailing the next day because that was like had to leave early.
She's a darling for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then we had Whitney Ann for the first time. And then we had Maddie. That was a fun one. We had Gary Ware. That dude is fucking hilarious and
That was great.
awesome. We had Roberto again because we did the 40 for 40. 40 for 40, yeah. We had Doug Valecki. We had remember our crazy Oktoberfest show with John Whitaker and wasn't Daniel Fisher on there? And who else was on there? Oh, Zach was on there, and Zach was rude to our certified Cicero. Remember all that?
Zach was rude. What?
Then we had Karen, and we had Joellen again, or Joellen. We had Liquid Infusion. We had Manny. We had the fabulous. Well, Manny's fabulous. Yes, we had a fabulous Barb Baker.
That was awesome.
She was awesome. Jeremy Lambert is fucking awesome. We had Jeffrey Burns.
We're going to have Jeremy and Mallory together on next year. So that's something we're working on.
I love it. Either way, either one of them, two of them, it doesn't really matter. As long as, they're just great. I just love them both. Really, really down to earth people, fun people. Y'all need to check them out on their Twitters. We had Jeffrey Bernstein, who we love, with Renee. And we had we remember our Madhouse / Stout show.
Yeah.
We had the Cult Bar takeover. We had Matt String. We had Whitney again. So we had a full cast this year, yo.
Yeah,
we thank everybody for coming.
Yeah. Thank you all for being and joining us. Even if you weren't on and you just joined us, man, we love it. And Craig and I don't get paid anything to do any of this. We do it because we love it. It's fun. And we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. That's, COVID kind of really cemented us together on this, but it's one of my favorite parts of the week. I love doing this. I love doing it with you, Greg. You're the man. So I love you. And thanks for freaking journey. This has been great.
Yes. And Doug, Daniel, you're literally, no bullshit. You're the only one that is scheduled for next year.
Yeah, I know. I have some irons in the fire, but nothing.
I don't have that many, so I got to get on my. We don't even have a one for next week, y'all. So,
we will.
Daniel, we'll get something, but Daniel, or we'll just come back and y'all just have to deal with us for another week. But Daniel will be on the 13th. It was confirmed later, early or later this evening or later this afternoon today, and we're going to be doing. We're going to talk about Doug and Daniel and my favorite TV shows from last year. So maybe y'all can get some TV shows to put in your queue if you haven't seen them. The Zach show was fucking hilarious. Oh my god,
it was great. It was just long.
It really was. Yes, we did mention Manny, and Manny will be back unless Manny does not want to be. But from all accounts, Manny wants to come back. It was a great year, guest. JHG, you were in there too. I'm not sure why I didn't mention your name more than once. JHG made a couple appearances. I think he was on Oktoberfest.
I think he was on a couple of times. Yeah.
Yeah, and then somebody canceled. We had the cancellation, so JHG jumped in. So yeah. Oh, we love your faces. Wow. At least someone does, Chris. Thank you, though. It was a wild year. It was fun hanging out. Yeah, Daniel, you were on more than once, too. And we love that. But, yeah, he says they don't get paid for this, but somehow you bought a hot tub, though.
That would be COVID stimulus money.
Zach, sorry to hear sorry to all the beer folks, but my favorite was Berto. That's cool.
Berto's a great fucking guest.
I got right.
The only guy who did a wardrobe change on her show.
Multiple
wardrobe change, like he was fucking Cher.
Yeah, and there ain't no shame to loving Roberto. Everybody does.
Yeah,
How do you not love Roberto?
And Victor and Gil were on as fan dads. We had them on too. Like Victor said, we were on, right? And I'm like, yeah, you guys were, and I just completely forgot. So yeah, you guys were on too. I think we had them on once. And
it was another cancellation, I think.
Yeah, and they were
yeah,
with us,
and
so.
Gil too. Got to give a shout out to Gil.
Yep.
Gil's the shit. So yeah, okay. So it was a good year, Doug, and we're gonna follow that up with another good year. Like Daniel says, you'll see a lot of repeats. But if Doug and I are doing this right, we're gonna get some people back. Art Eddie, Afro Beard Chick. We've been trying to schedule Truck Wendex, so we're still going to be working on that for y'all again.
That's been hard because that's a busy fucking guy.
Yeah, but if we can, we're going to try to do our best to get him on a Friday so y'all can see him. We had him on a Wednesday last time. He was fascinating, fabulous, and fun. And he's so opinionated. I love how opinionated that man is.
Yeah, and he doesn't give a shit. He just is
right, and he doesn't hold back. That's what I love. Like, and he didn't even, we asked him anything you don't want to talk about, and he's like, no, let's talk about it. So,
also, we'll have Amanda Dybert will be back next year. I'm working on her.
She wasn't last year, but she was the year before. But yeah, and then we're also going to work on Jackie Summers if I can nail him down. But I actually haven't really asked him. But every time we asked him, he's been so gracious.
He's super fucking busy because his product has taken off so well, and we're super happy for him. And I have to order more of that. I don't have any of it in my house right now.
And then I would be remiss, Doug, and we would be remiss if we did not acknowledge our fabulous, wonderful guest co-hosts. Let's start with Lauren, who it feels like she booked half our damn guests last year. Especially in the fall, she was booking agent. She got us Wendy. She got us. I'm sorry, I keep calling her Wendy. Whitney. I'm sorry, Whitney in.
Gary Ware.
Whitney. Yes, Gary Ware. I mean, she got Gabby back.
Gabby, Jeff.
Yes, I mean, Lauren is just amazing.
Yeah.
So we got Casey, who's amazing, and Doug met him in Toronto this year. So that was awesome.
That was awesome. Yeah, that was great.
We have Chelsea Alt, who is kicking ass, being a female in a male-dominated sport, coaching her butt off, working her butt off, going to different things so she can learn. She's advancing. She's just an inspiration. We love her. And last and certainly not least, Renee Pickup, who is just an amazing woman, friend, all that. Doug and her started the Cult Bar, which I'm serving up to you now, Doug. Cult Bar is this Wednesday, right?
Yeah, this coming Wednesday. We are going. God, I can't remember the name of it because it's different. Let me figure out what it's called again. Basically, though, the leader thinks she's Uriel, which is like this, which is a pretty high up kind of person in Christian religion. But they're called Nunarians. So we'll be talking about that this coming Wednesday. This is not a cult where you're going to feel bad after listening to us talk about it. It's just kind of silly. So we're going to delve into that Wednesday. Like I said, the last one was Nexium, which was fucking heavy and hard. Really difficult to fucking get through. And I can't even imagine how Renee got through it just because being a woman and knowing how all that shit worked, because it was, really oppressive to women in so many ways, sex trafficking and all that stuff. So yeah, it's not great. So we decided, Renee said, let's do one that's a little bit of a palate cleanser. So this was a bit of a palate cleanser. So it'll just be fun, a little bit lighter, still weird because it's a cult. But yeah, we're looking forward to doing that. So yeah, I got a boatload of research to do this weekend. So that'll be part of my weekend. So yay.
Cool. Daniel says, love Amanda. Yeah, I miss Amanda. She's great. Jackie Sorrell's become my sister-in-law's new favorite. That's amazing. And by the way, you can order direct from Sorrell now.
See, I didn't know that. Now I'm gonna have to do that because I'd rather the money go straight to him.
Right in the tape.
Right in the tape. I don't know what that means, but okay. Yeah, you're right. The nippy count was too low. You're right. We did not say nippy enough. Because any guy whose nickname is Nippy, where it's not like his name was like Nippleton or it was like Andrew Jones and he got the name Nippy, and that's what his wife calls him. And I'm just like, all right, that sounds like a name that was made up when you were a sophomore in high school, and for some dumb reason it stuck to you. And yeah, so we did not do enough Nippy count in that, but yeah.
All right, so that means so that's the Colt Bar this Wednesday, right? 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central.
Yep, that is
these very rare channels.
Yeah, the Wednesday the 4th. So yeah,
let me find
Wednesday at 9, and join us. It's like we've done some pretty heavy ones. Most cult shit's got to be heavy because it involves really fucked up shit and really fucked up people, and sometimes it's hard to be. This one will not be like that. It'll be much lighter, and then we'll probably delve back into the heavier shit. So enjoy this one while it's nice and light.
Excellent. I'm not sure.
Might be.
All right, Doug. We're gonna wrap it up here.
Wait, I just got right in the Tate. Andrew Tate. Sex trafficking, Andrew Tate. Yeah. Good job, Daniel. It just took me too long to get to it. I apologize.
Yeah, sorry you mentioned the sex trafficking too soon. Never too soon. You already know that, actually. I mean, not never, but it's rare. It's rare. All right, Doug. I guess
you want to do a quick wrap up of the beers you had? You beat me to it.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
I had 2 very different beers, but very interesting Milwaukee Brew beers. I had from Supermoon and Hacienda. I had this one. I believe so. This is really nice, really nice, fresh, crisp, all that things you want from a saison. A little funky at the end, juicy and fruity, very very nice. And then we had Cascara, which is quad that I said I was going to get to the end of. Almost am.
Almost there.
Opened up at the end, becoming more malty. Kind of the hot presence got a little bit muted at the end there, but this is a nice big old quad. I like the quad size that they give you there. Like, this is enough for this one. Milwaukee Brewers still killing it. That's the update. What's going on, brother?
All right. So for me, I started with the NA. The NA was good. Just tastes like slightly less crisp Labatt's. That was okay. But good for an NA. Like, if I'm going to drink a lot of NAs, that's a good way to go. I'm going to say that the Little Man Space Junkie Sour was good. Like I said, I'm not a sour person. This was mostly tart, so this was pretty good and drinkable. The Talking Cursive After Dark, which was a Czech dark lager, was really interesting, really different. Everything they do seems to be a little bit different. It's not defined by genre of beer. So they do a lot of different stuff. So that was pretty good. And I did Unicorn Parts After Dark. That was probably my favorite because I'm a stout guy. But yeah, it was very much a dessert beer. So one will do you. You don't need to buy a 4-pack of this shit. Just get, if you can find it, so you can, just one.
Zach.
He's a Lego maniac.
So I'm just saying you don't need 4 of them, Zach, because Zach's probably like, Doug probably has 4 of them. He's probably cellaring 2 of them, and he's gonna pound 3 of them. And to you, Zach, this is what I got. I can't believe she lost, Doug. I just can't.
Hey, nothing surprised me. Did you see that before we go? Did you see the dude that from Long Island that got elected, and he was lying about everything, where he worked, what school he went to, everything. Right. he was broke, and then somehow he lent his campaign $750,000, and now they're going to investigate him, but there's no mechanism to boot him. Like, he has to go and be seated in Congress while they investigate him. And I'm just like, he lied about every goddamn thing. How can you even let that guy sit in the House? But they have to.
This is the guy that's Jewish, right? He wasn't Jewish, he's Jewish, right?
The Jew-ish.
Right.
Motherfucker just...
You can't make this shit up though, dog. He's Jewish. I saw that. I was like, I'm done with this story. I'm done. I'm out. Check it out. This shit is so absurd. I just got to get out. So I haven't seen any updates. Santos, right? Is that his name?
He lied.
Is that even his name?
We don't know. Like, could be. He said he was biracial. He said he was gay. Like, he said he was Jewish. Like, he said all kinds of things, and none of them are true. He said he worked for Goldman Sachs. He said, like, all right, this is what the GOP is right now. They just don't give a shit. As long as you're not a Democrat, we'll fucking elect you. We don't give a shit. We'll just throw you in and just.
Well, right, and also, Doug, they know that it's not eroding any of their base, so they can just do whatever they want.
Their base doesn't give a fuck. What they give a fuck is it's not a Democrat. That's why Trump got elected. It's not about that Trump is great, but
that, and as long as you stop those gays and black people and brown people from advancing, that's what we're for.
Yeah, and make sure there's no story hour done by drag queens, because that's a fucking eroding society.
Right, because that's grooming. Right. Mm-hmm. And stop those woke people, and don't say gay and all that stuff. That's what Florida ran to vote for this. So it's not hurting their brand at all. Actually.
Nope.
So, and they realize this, and they're going to play to that. Now, I don't know how the Democrats combat that, but y'all need a plan. I guess, we have a plan. There is a pushback on it. And, you have to, even in an off year, the Democrats should have got plowed over. They didn't get plowed over. So whatever they're doing is working. They just need to keep that momentum. We need to pick our small victories, Doug, where we can, and we just need to build on that. That's it. Mm-hmm. There's really nothing else we can do. You're not converting any of these QAnon people. You're not converting the Marjorie Green Taylor people. You're just not. So don't even. I don't even know. Don't even try this fucking thing. Focus on the independents and focus on our people. But none of our people are really going to leave either. Like, we can bitch and moan about the Democrats all we want, but there's no one who's voting Democrat now that's just going to switch over to that shit. This doesn't work, and it's like the vice versa too. So that's why we're stuck where we are, right? So
yeah, and that's right. Yeah, we're bad at messaging. Republicans are not bad. Republicans are excellent messaging. Their message sucks, but they're good at messaging.
I guess, Doug, but there's no message that you can get on that side. There's no message from this side that will be able to touch those people. Because they're fucking crazy, Doug. There's no message that you can give to them. There's nothing. You can't say you're voting against your own interest. That doesn't work. You can't say shit to them. They're in their own. Again, if you're on Donald Trump at this point, I don't even know if resources should be even put there. Really. Like, what about independents? What about people who aren't voting? People who aren't voting, Doug, are a bigger piece of the pie than the people who are voting for that bullshit. So this is where this is where you're right about the messaging, Doug. That's where you're right, in my personal opinion. But you're wrong if you and I don't know if you are or not. I'm just saying, people, not you, I won't come at you. People who are wrong if you're saying that their messaging is wrong to the Trump people, because those people can't be messaged to unless you're saying dumb shit or lying, because that's what they want to hear. And they want to hear white nationalist shit, and they want to hear white supremacy shit. That's what they want to hear. They want to hear no woke shit, no gay shit, no lesbian shit, no drag queen. First of all, can someone tell me in the comments too? Can you tell me what drag queens have to do with sexuality? I just want to know. Do you know, Doug? Do you know, Doug? Do You also know that again, can you tell me, Doug? Maybe you could tell me this one because you have this in your family. What does transgender have to do with sexuality?
Nothing.
I'll wait for the answer.
Nothing. Transgender has nothing to do with sexuality whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Cool. Okay, cool. Okay. Because gender's
That's just how you
here,
identify. Yeah.
sexuality's here.
Exactly. They're separate things.
Oh, okay. So a man dressing up like a woman. Look, I don't got time for this. I don't even know why I'm talking about it. I just don't have time for Doug. Not that it's not important, and not that people who drag queens aren't important, or trans people. But at the same time, I'm tired of having this discussion that I already know.
Yep. You know the answer. It doesn't matter. Here's the thing: is we were told when we were kids, and you and I are approximately the same age. You respect your elders, and you fucking just accept whatever things are, and you just work hard. The thing is, like, our kids are seeing how much of a lie all that shit was, and they aren't having it. And a lot of people who are our age who thought that, well, our kids should just respect us, aren't getting what they expect. The people that adjust and work with their kids and understand that you need to evolve and work on yourself, they get it. There's still too many people that don't get it. There's just still too many people that think they just need to do the same shit their parents did, which that didn't fucking work.
Yeah, and I'm tired of talking to them. If people want to talk to them, that's great. I'd rather us run up on. It would be nice if we can get a whole roll of people who don't vote, and then we can roll up on them. Mm-hmm. And that's where I think we need to. Vastly more people don't vote than do vote. So that's our gap there, Doug. That's where we can. This is where the Democrats need work on messaging. It's getting those people to give a fuck to get out. That's it.
Yeah, and if you look at the popularity of policies that are quote unquote liberal or / Democrat policies, they're wildly popular.
Yeah,
you need to get people that are
motivated,
that don't vote or who are independents to understand, like, this is for the greater good. This is good for all of us.
Yeah.
A rising tide lifts all boats and all that. And the problem is Republicans don't think that. What they think is that it should be absolutely fuck those people. They aren't us. It's always an us versus them thing. That's what they think. And I get to the point where you're just like, why am I talking to folks and just trying to do that? And you're right, Zach. That's the thing. And if you noticed in the last election in 2020, the Republicans had 50 fucking candidates, and that didn't go well for them. So, and this time the Democrats are probably going to put Joe Biden up again, despite him being fucking 80 years old.
I don't care.
And you know what? Hey, as long as it keeps Trump out of fucking office and it keeps DeSantis out of office, DeSantis is worse.
Yeah. And again, don't kill me with, I don't want to hear, don't talk about the polls. Settle, relax. But the polls show, Doug, that DeSantis is vastly unpopular. Now, maybe that'll change, but outside of Florida, he's not really that popular.
No, he isn't.
So I'm not saying I want that. I'm just saying it's encouraging because he has room that he has to gap. Say what you want about Joe Biden. Joe Biden is vastly more popular, even with his, quote, low things, than DeSantis. And I think this is what we always underestimate about Joe. We underestimated him about this through the whole process because I don't know if y'all remember, but I was running to vote against Joe Biden in the Wisconsin primary. The problem is he had that shit all wrapped up before it even got here. So I didn't even want Joe Biden. He was the last person on my list.
And that was our best option, Joe Biden.
And I was wrong. Remember that conversation that we had in DC at that too with Jeff Tepper's wife. Jeff Tepper's wife is a black woman. And I specifically wanted to ask her who she was voting for. She said Joe Biden. And I said, why? And she's like, because he can beat whoever. That's it. It wasn't because she loved him the most. It wasn't because she had more faith in him than anything. She's like, he can win and he needs to win. She was, again, black woman, fucking ain't right about politics. Always.
They're always right.
Always right. Right. So, and it was funny because everybody in that room was like, it was like a collective, like, she didn't just say that shit. And I gasped because I know that, like, black people aren't a monolith, clearly, but black women on some level politically are a monolith. They generally vote the same way for the right person. Mm-hmm. So when she said Joe Biden, I was pretty much like, well, that's where we are, y'all, because black women are ready to vote for Joe Biden over Kamala Harris, Cory Booker. There were legitimate good black candidates. And black women, and it wasn't just Tiff, black women across the board not vote for them. That's why they didn't win. That's why Kamala Harris was out before any kind of like big vote came. Cory Booker was out before any of that shit. So again, black people just don't run the vote for black people like the right wants to say about Obama. Obama had to earn his chops. Remember, he was losing to Hillary Clinton, y'all, before he was winning against Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
Go back and look. Go back and look. Go back and look. So when Jeff's wife said that she was voting for Joe Biden, it was like a quake for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, what, lady? And she's like, yeah. She's like, hold on, let me explain it. She explained. And she was right because black women came out and voted for Joe Biden. That's why he won. That's why he won at least the Democratic primary. Now, why he won the regular primaries, because there's a lot of white people, middle America white people who could relate to Joe Biden. And that's the thing that I don't think a lot of people see about Joe Biden, is that he's approachable to white people, a lot of white people. And whether we like his policies or not, for the record, I think he's doing a pretty damn good job considering.
He's done a great job as president. So
considering a lot of things, and considering his background, considering what we thought of him when he was coming up. And he learned a lot from his black friend, Barack Obama. He learned a lot. And being VP for 8 years taught that man a lot. And he taught him how to move, not that he didn't know before. So yeah, I'm cool with Joe Biden. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what you say. I'm cool with him. So I don't care about the crime bill. Don't want to hear about that. Everybody talks about the crime bill and Joe Biden. Black people wanted the crime bill back then. I don't know if y'all know. It was vastly popular with black people.
Yes, it was.
And now black people are like, well, the crime bill. And that's why I don't like Joe Biden. Like, there's a segment of black people who don't like Joe Biden who scream that, or black Republicans love to scream that. But y'all bitches are wrong. Black people wanted it back then. And most black people still look back and say, hey, it wasn't right, but they did what they had to do. And now Joe Biden is doing his best to try to get rid of some of those inequalities by like naming all kinds of black women to our benches, which is vastly needed. And I don't know, man, like I'm not going to tell a woman what to do, and I'm not going to tell a woman when she should go. But Elena Kagan and Justice Sotomayor might want to think about retiring soon. I'm not telling them what to do. I'm just saying, Miss Sotomayor, who's my favorite justice.
She's a badass.
She's a complete badass, but she's 70 with diabetes, Doug. So at some point we're going to have to replace her. And I don't know if we want Rick DeSantis replacing her or any of that shit like that went on with.
Yeah, it's already way too slanted. So
right. We got to make sure that we take care. And I read an article about Elena Kagan and how she's just so fed up with the fucking court, specifically the Supreme Court, about how it's just all partisan and there's really no consensus or no like conversation for a consensus. It's just like, all this partisan shit. And she's just tired of it. It sounds like, I just read this right today. It sounds like she's ready to retire. And she is. Kudos to her because she's fucking amazing too. And she really wanted to, a consensus there, Doug. And this is not going to happen because we got so many ideologues on the fucking court now. It's just like right-wing fucking militia run wild. And it's fucking disgusting. And I'm just tired of it. So, whatever. I didn't think we were going to get on this 21-minute rant.
20-minute rant.
Right. But this is where we chat. Oh, I didn't even get to read the comments. Anyway, Doug. Yes. So that's how we're gonna end this.
I think so. I think it's a
That's
good
how
end.
we're gonna end this stream and end the year with y'all. Doug and I want to wish you. We don't have an outro, Doug. I didn't work on one today. But I've been working on revamping it. So, but we are going to say our goodbyes here, y'all. We want y'all to have a great New Year's, no matter what you do. Be safe. Stay inside if you can. Get to where you're going to get early tonight, so you're not driving out there with those lunatics.
Yep.
You have to drive out there with those lunatics. Please just be safe. And obviously, drink responsibly. We don't say that enough here, actually. We do say it in our outro. But to say those words, we need to say it. Drink responsibly. We know all y'all do. Most of y'all are parents, so you'll see the bigger and know the bigger picture. But you can catch Doug on the Cult Bar on Wednesday. And we will return next Friday with Doug and I for sure.
Yeah.
We're going to bring somebody along here at some point. And then in 2 weeks, we'll have Daniel Fisher. Always a joy to have Daniel here and his wisdom and his friendship, all that. So, yeah, can I sing your 2023 intro? I'll send sound. I'm game.
You can. Will we play them? We don't know. It's going to depend on what you.
Right. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Daniel, I really wish I could say that this year would be our year for our New York trip, but I don't know. Maybe we should just do it, Doug. I'm not sure. If
it's not far for me, it's far for you.
Yeah, I'm just more. It's just. I don't know. Maybe we should just. I don't know. I'm just still wary about COVID and the flu and all that shit. It's just.
Well, if we do it
at some
later
point,
in the year, when we get past flu season, maybe we can explore that.
Yeah. Because Daniel has a fucking nice weekend set up for us. So, and I'm itching to get back on the road too. So, I'm not itching this bad though. So anyway, y'all, how do we have the most people watching right at this moment than we did the whole time? It's because Doug started talking about. Okay, so listen here. I got one last question for you. We don't even want to.
Sorry, I'm still dancing.
So I have this, Doug. I still have this. It's still kind of cold. So you know what I'm gonna do? The potential Cicerone in me is going to choke. I'm going to add an ice cube to this, y'all. But I'm going to drink it. I'm going to let the ice cube cool it. And then I'm going to take the ice cube out and then I'm going to drink it. It's called refreshing it. You ever do that, Doug?
No. I should though. I've just not done it.
Right. Now, if you do it really fast, you won't get it, it won't water it down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it won't water.
You have to do it fast. You can't just let it sit there and then you're going to have watered down beer. Nobody wants that shit. So, yeah. I don't know. He will need to augment a few stops, but it's still fairly close.
Sweet.
Look at that. Utah is a sunken place. You don't say? And that is a curious thing. Adding ice cubes. Yeah, you don't want to do it though, JHG, really generally. You don't want to you don't want to water down your beer, but sometimes you want to cool it off. And I want it cold, so because I'm finishing this beer, it's fucking excellent. So I'm not just gonna drain for it. Ain't gonna happen. But it is a little bit too warm because I moved on to the quad. But what's not warm, Doug, is us getting out of here.
Yeah.
So
all right, again, everybody, thanks so much for joining us this year, and hope you continue to do that. We love having you guys comment and bullshit with us. That's what it is. Man, it's for you and I think I can speak for both of us. That's like the best part of it is just us bullshitting with everybody. It's just we have guests or we don't have guests. We just talk to people and it's fun. So thank you everybody for joining the ride.
Yes, the guests in the comment section pretty much propel all of this. So when we don't have, just put my beer in a cocktail shaker.
No, if you want fucking suds everywhere, sure, do that.
Right. So I didn't see this, but it's just not. exciting. So he's not getting people to run to the polls early. He's a grandpa, not exciting, but good enough, and loves ice cream.
That's fair. That's fair.
Right. There was another comment that Zach said, but sorry, Zach. It's gonna have to wait till next week.
Yep.
We will see y'all guys. Y'all have a great New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, all that. We'll see y'all next week. Same time, same bad channel, and hopefully with someone else, so we're not as boring. But